For centuries, Irish people carried St. Patrick with them across the world. And today, here in Dublin, that story comes home. Is stáitse gach sráid san ard chair leis scéal gach cúna. St. Patrick's Festival is not only a moment of tradition, but a bold and imaginative contemporary arts festival. It's a celebration rooted in history and alive in the present. Today, months of creativity, collaboration and dedication will come together as artists, makers and communities bring this fair city to life. And above all, it's a chance to celebrate who we are. Welcome to St. Patrick's Festival 2026. We are back here in Dublin city centre to showcase the most famous parade in the world, and we are so excited.
Yes, we are. I'll be chatting to people who have come to see the parade from all over. They're going to be here cheering on the amazing performers, and how lucky are we to have this absolute beaut here with us today.
Oh, Emer, I am blushing. Thank you so much. I am just thrilled to be here with both of you today. All over the world, St. Patrick's Day is celebrated, and this year the theme is roots, exploring identity, belonging and shared stories across generations.
Everyone from the President of Ireland to the Lord Mayor of Dublin are making their way through the crowds of O'Connell Street. Agus tá fáilte romh go léir.
The St. Patrick's Day Parade makes its way through some of Dublin's most iconic streets. Let's take a look at the route for today. The parade kicks off near Parnell Square at the Black Church before making its way up O'Connell Street, hitting a host of Dublin's most famous landmarks, including the Spire, the GPO and the O'Connell Monument. After crossing O'Connell Bridge, the parade route passes Trinity College before continuing down Dame Street, past Dublin Castle, on to Christchurch. The parade finishes up just past St. Patrick's Cathedral and will have been seen by thousands of people lining the streets along the way.
Here we are. Let's get this show on the road. I am so excited to be here, high up, overlooking what promises to be a spectacular parade today. Months of preparation have gone into this day. Hundreds of excited participants, more than 5,000 people bringing it all to life, but the hundreds of thousands of people lining the streets of Dublin are what will really bring the energy. And now we can see President Catherine Connolly and her escort of honours make their way down O'Connell Street. I don't mean to be dramatic, but the sun is splitting the spire. Yeah, I made that one up myself earlier. It is the first time we have President Connolly and her husband Brian at the parade. The 10th President of Ireland, succeeding Michael D. Higgins. There we have the door opened by Aide-de-Camp Colonel Tom McGrath, and President Connolly walks to the grandstand and greets St. Patrick's Festival CEO Richard Tierney and Chair of the festival Shane Clark. Over to Dáithí now.
Johnny's going to say a few words to you, that's okay.
Constante Wolfhound, Constante Mr. Dáithí, Constante Sadia, Thomas Soile Wolfhound, Hayden Catherine Connolly, agus for Cale O'Brien. Gandout Wolfhound, te tem on the failish on our prevacha. Agus in the Cale over a Cahishin Hayden and Sohanaid and Agus Temple and down. Cad the Keelan and lost the Dutcha.
Tá mescon de wahucan agamin orira is law con Kelura. Agus tá sé sin le feicil agus rinne mé réiteach leis an cuacht go méid lá jazz agan inniu so bhí ach is so he gol siar bhí mescon de mohucan uanta bhí me flachbáte uanta eile bhí me dóite leis an grian ach is ionntach a bheithan seo agus is ionntach agus privilege a bheithan seo mar uachtar an na hhéireann. Níor creidir mé riamh go méid mé an seo sa ról sin.
It must be fantastic, as you mentioned, Wolfhound, looking back at when you were younger yourself and all the memories you have of St. Patrick's Day and the Rubita Walk.
Nuair a bhí mé óg.
Tá tú fós óg?
Maithíom go bhfuil mé óg fásí mar seán, sin cuid the knife. No, looking back, I have a whole mixture of emotions. You know, it was a day of school, so that was fantastic. Often it poured rain and you were miserable, and sometimes you were burnt, but it was always a wonderful celebration. I was a member of the Order of Malta, so we used to go out in our uniforms, and that was lovely. We felt important. Yeah.
I was speaking to many children earlier on, and they got to break Lent on Patrick's Day. Did you have that tradition when you?
We couldn't wait for it. We had all the being a milchon carny sauce. We had all the sweets piled up, and of course some of us slipped into it before St. Patrick's Day. But there was always confession.
That's okay, and that's what it's there for as well. We're going to see so many different performances here at Wolfhound. How important is it that we support the arts today?
Oh, arts. Tá sé garda mo crí cúsaí eilína. They're very near to my heart. I think self-identity, our identity is very important, but in a way that reaches out. Our identity allows us to be confident in ourselves and not be threatened by other cultures. So I think it's a win-win situation that we champion our culture, but in an open and inclusive manner.
This is your first Law Day project as Wolfhound. I'd imagine this day is going to stay with you.
I think so, but every Law Éile Pádraig has stuck with me up to now. I think the weather is a huge role in our memories, hasn't it? Yeah.
Well, whoever you were praying to earlier on, keep praying to Wolfhound, because we need a good spell of weather. Wolfhound Gurmahagot, agus Gunairi Lat, Brian Gurmahagot Sachoma, Anava.
Now, on Saturday, we met with the Lord Mayor, Ray McAdam, to talk to him about the St. Patrick's Festival.
Dublin is a place of colour, vitality, vibrancy, and what we see across Dublin this weekend, we've got the sun out, we've got such enjoyment. I know everyone is going to have an absolute blast. It's about a celebration of our city, it's a celebration of our country, it's a time when the eyes of the world are on Dublin. And it's a great opportunity for us to put our best foot forward, to show our creativity, to show our culture, to show our heritage, and to show the diversity of modern Ireland, modern Dublin. And what people, I think, are looking for is an escape from everything else that's going on. And that's what Dublin, that's what Ireland can show the world over these 4 days.
Oh, I love the madness of O'Connell Street on St. Patrick's Day here in Dublin. How are you, sir? Where are you from?
I'm from Nairobi, Kenya.
Lovely. Are you having a good time today?
Great time indeed.
Great time. Where are you from, sir?
I'm from Texas.
Good. Do you have any family members in the parade today?
My son is in the parade today.
Good. So you're looking forward to seeing him?
I'm very excited.
Very proud of him?
Very, very proud.
Good stuff. Where are you from?
I'm from India.
India. Where are you from?
India.
India.
You're classmates?
Yes.
So you're studying here. You having a good time studying in Ireland?
Oh yes, we love it here. Every night we got drinking. You?
Out every night. Oh my God. Are you out with these guys drinking as well?
Yay!
Yeah. Having a good time here?
Yes.
Good stuff. Where are you from?
From Austria.
So lovely people on this side of the street. But what about this side? Woo! Where are you from?
Ireland.
Whereabouts?
Swords, Dublin.
Lovely. What about you?
Slovakia.
Is this your first time to Ireland?
Yay!
You're very, very welcome. What about you?
The USA.
USA. Whereabouts?
Philly.
Philly.
USA.
Lovely.
Turkey.
Turkey
as well.
Turkey.
Italy.
Lovely.
Italy.
What about you?
Wiltshire.
Oh my God, Almighty, it's her birthday as well. Happy birthday to you. All celebrations here in Dublin this birthday, but it's also St. Patrick's Day in the capital city.
The crack is 90. Thank you, Dáithí. Now, Irish people from all over the world have been in touch to wish everyone at home a happy St. Patrick's Day. Have a look at this.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from the Taj Mahal.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from Melbourne. Happy St. Patrick's Day from Alain in the UAE. Happy St. Patrick's Day!
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
From Spain.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from Vancouver. Happy St. Patrick's Day from Orlando, Florida.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
From Fraser Valley Gales, Vancouver, BC.
Now it is time for all of you at home to enter our competition. Take a look at this.
This Loyal Podrick, we are giving you the chance to win a magical €5,000 in tax-free cash. Spend it as you wish. Book a fabulous family holiday in the Irish countryside. Splash the cash on friends or renovate your home this year. How you spend it, it's totally up to you. That's €5,000 for one lucky person. And for your chance to win, answer this. What instrument is heard in traditional Irish music? Is it the fiddle, didgeridoo or trumpet? If you think you know the answer, call 1517 71 71 77 or text the word parade followed by your answer and name to 57886. Maximum cost per entry is €2.50. You must be over 18 to enter. Lines will close at midday Wednesday the 18th of March. More details on rte.ie/competitions, and that's where the lucky winner will also be revealed.
very welcome back to the St. Patrick's Festival Parade. The sun is shining, the crowds are smiling, and I am so delighted to be joined by Aoife Carey, Artistic Director of the St. Patrick's Festival Parade. Aoife, the day has finally arrived. How are you feeling, and what are you most looking forward to?
Oh, like all of it. This is the culmination of so much work. I mean, this is like a year long for the artistic pieces that we're going to see. They're like, this is the culmination of all that work. And then for the marching bands, this is like the end of 3 years for them getting ready. So I just want to see it all.
The fruits of their labour coming to life today.
Exactly.
In the sunshine, thankfully.
Oh my gosh.
So Aoife, would you be nervous now on a day like today, or do you feel like you can put the heels up and say, my work here is done, I'm just going to enjoy it?
No, not until it's over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're very excited. The crowds are gathering, the sun is shining, and we await the arrival of the first citizen of Dublin, the Lord Mayor, Ray McAdam. We have the festival here behind us. Look at this.
It's just incredible.
Look at this. The horses looking fabulous. They brushed their hair for the day that's in it.
They did indeed.
Here he is in the Lord Mayor's carriage. We'll have some facts about that in a minute because it is just spectacular. This is Ray McAdam, the 358th Lord Mayor of Dublin. A proud Cavan man. Moved to Dublin in 2002 to study at Trinity College Dublin. And he is married to Niamh, Lady Mayoress. I was today years old, Aoife, as the kids say, when I realised the Lord Mayor's wife is called Lady Mayoress.
Yes, I also, that was new for me.
There he is hopping out to applause. And joined by their son Irla as well, who's 6 years of age.
And he's an absolute dote.
The crowd's here having an absolute blast, waving away. Gorgeous. I hear that Irla is allowed to have some pals in the carriage today.
Yeah, can you imagine?
I can't. As play dates go, Aoife,
I know.
that's a fairly cool one to be able to rock into school and be like, do you want to come in the carriage in the festival?
I know, do you want to drive down the parade route with me in the golden carriage?
The carriage is fascinating. The Lord Mayor's coach, it dates back to 1791. It was made for the Lord Mayor by William Whitten, one of 3 coach builders based in Dublin's Dominic Street. Look how majestic it is there. You had a fact about the wheels, Aoife?
Yeah, so the wheels that you're seeing, they're new wheels from last year. I don't think it got through the NCT. So they replaced the wheels. Well, I think it was a big restoration job. I mean, I don't think you just put new tyres on.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
So
a bit more work than just new tyres. 24 feet long, 8 feet wide, 11 feet 6 inches high.
It's absolutely stunning.
At the time, Aoife, it cost £2,690, and that was considered good value, apparently.
Yeah.
Especially in view of the marvellous paintings and carvings and its promotion of Dublin craftsmanship. So it was expensive.
It was expensive and it was a big deal. But there was, like, carriage making was huge in Dublin at the time.
Well, after Irish independence, apparently, its use declined, and the last use before going into storage was at the Eucharistic Congress in 1932.
There we go. Now here we have Dublin Fire Brigade, and they are joined by a load of their peers from the US. So this band is an amalgamation of Dublin Fire Brigade,
yes.
And then we've got representatives from Washington, from New York, Florida, Orange County, Boston, the Hamptons. So they've all come over to see us today.
It is, I mean, it's a massive excursion, really. It's not just the people we see in front of us who come. There are teams of people that need to make this happen and that travel with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially with the marching bands, rather than like the Dublin Fire Brigade bands. Like they've got to have chaperones, they have to have their parents. Listen to that.
They have the Irish Wolfhound as well, Fela, led by firefighter and paramedic John Lee. Look at lads. Anytime I see an animal today, forgive me if I freak out. They really are the stars of the show.
But I only found this out very recently, that every member of Dublin Fire Brigade is a trained paramedic.
Yes, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And some in advanced paramedic level as well, and it reflects the unique and vital role that they play in the city, and I'm sure so many people are watching on today, very grateful to them. Also on parade today, 20 recruit firefighters proudly marching at the beginning of their careers. Their training began in January, and today marks, obviously, oh look! The crowd goes wild. There's Fela.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful red coat.
And that's all the flags of the represented bodies marching.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Washington, D.C., New York, Florida, Orange County, Boston, the Hamptons. Strong international bonds within the firefighting community. They're having a ball. Can't say it enough now, Eva. The rain staying away.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
just... How many years? Is it this the 6th year there's been no rain? Sorry, I shouldn't jinx it. I shouldn't even say that
don't
out
jinx
loud.
it.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said
No,
it.
no, no.
I shouldn't have said it.
We don't talk about it directly.
We do have wind, but we're good.
The wind is okay. It's
Yeah.
not as bad breeze as
No.
we thought.
Once it's dry, but as my dad says, there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad gear, and we have
Yeah.
all the gear.
We do.
Yeah, we're good. Up on the shoulders.
That's my first memory of the parade.
Is it?
Sitting up on my dad's
You gotta get up on the
shoulders.
shoulders.
Yeah.
There they are, Washington, D.C. Fire Department with their lovely banner. Very on brand with the green.
Yeah. I'd say the sun has brought so many more people out today.
Definitely. Ah, yeah, there are people who wait for the day and go, will I go in or not? It is bustling. We have a lovely bus, open top.
This is our international media. So, like we say, all eyes of the world are on Ireland today. These are the press from all over the world coming to see us.
Emer is at the media bus. Let's see who she's talking to.
Well, I'm here joined by Annika and Daniel all the way from Sweden. Hey, hur läget? Tell me, supposedly you're actually at work right now. Is it work or a holiday?
It's hard work. You know.
What kind of work?
I'm a journalist, so we're here on an assignment. So we'll be spreading the words in Sweden all about St. Patrick's Day.
I love it. And tell me, Daniel, how does the Dublin parade fare to those that you've seen in Sweden?
This is crazy. If you compare it to Sweden, this is wow. Sweden don't have it.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. This is wow.
Nice.
Let's go. All right, here we go with our outwalk. Yeah. Darren, back to you,
Look
baby.
who I found. Look who I found inside the big fancy car.
I know.
Folk, how are you keeping?
I'm having what am I doing here? It's so good.
Well, they're all here cheering for you. They're all so excited to see you. But Folk, tell me, how excited were you when you got the call to say you'd be the Grand Marshal?
I mean, I never thought I'd get the call in my life. This is going on my gravestone. I've decided was the Grand Marshal 2026.
Yeah. It's so much fun though, isn't it?
It's so, do you know, it's so much crack, and if you stand up, it's like there's just so many people here. It's such an incredible buzz. I knew it would be good. I didn't know it would be this good.
Can you remember back years and years and years and years ago?
No,
when
when you
were in primary school and coming to parades like this.
Do you know what? I always think there's a life cycle that you go through. You go to the parade when you're younger, then you sneak off, hide from your parents and steal a bit of their booze, and then you go in the big pub crawls that are all over Ireland, all over Dublin and stuff, and then you come back to the parade.
Oh.
I'm in my parade era again.
No, the theme of the parade this year is roots, of course, as well. We're celebrating Irish people at home. You're based in the UK at the moment as well, and you know you can certainly feel an Irishness when you're anytime I'm over there. We're just so proud to be Irish wherever we are in the world.
I mean, we spread ourselves far and wide, but the whole theme of roots is really great for me because I just feel like I'm away, but this is home. This is where I always come back to, and you just get that. There's nothing like landing in Ireland. Like you just don't, that feeling you get. I fly over Howth as well, and I sit in a specific seat so I get to see Howth.
Oh.
It's so pathetic, but I love it. It makes me so happy.
It's lovely. You know this is going to happen every time you come home now.
Oh, great. Well,
it's part of the gig now.
If I come home and there's no one at the airport, I'll be raging. What happened?
Where are they? And can we drive down O'Connell Street again, please?
She's been cancelled.
Do you know what? Congratulations. I wanted you to take in all the atmosphere here of Vogue. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, lovely stuff. Great to see you.
I'm a bit lonely.
I'll stay for. I'll get out now soon. I promise. Any minute now.
Thank you, Dáithí, and fair play to Vogue. Now, we love when people send us videos from around the world wishing their family and friends a happy St. Patrick's Day. Have a look at this.
Patrick's Day from Niagara West to Australia. Wolfhound Project Sunny of Glare.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from Jakarta, Indonesia.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from Molly Cucullen.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from Vancouver.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone at home in Ireland from beautiful Tuscany, Italy.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from Sitges in Catalonia, Spain.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from Bay Hill, Florida.
Now, Clondalkin Youth Band, Aoife, these guys are just fantastic. Their uniforms for one, I love.
They're amazing, and they did a huge fundraising campaign a couple of years ago, and they premiered these outfits last year. So they're getting another outing today.
Brilliant. Sustainable fashion.
Sustainable fashion.
One of the largest marching and concert bands in the country. They've won many awards, 2 major awards under their belt, and they successfully unveiled that new look. Oh, St. Patrick himself.
There
the
he
buzzer
is.
that he is. Look at him with the shades. That is so random. He just came out of nowhere. Brilliant. Back to Clondalkin Youth Band. Oh, great. I hope he pops up like that throughout the whole parade.
It's his day.
Listen, he can do what he likes. Here they are dancing away. Brilliant. There are 83 of them. I was having a sneak peek of what they'll be playing. Fireball, Pitbull, iconic.
Oh my gosh.
Can't wait for a bit of that, Aoife.
I wonder what they're going to... What are they playing? Can we hear them?
Let's have a listen to them, shall we? They are in all their glory. How many? So 83 in total, Aoife?
83 in total, yeah. And walking in a straight line takes so much practice.
That isn't something I've thought about, and it probably does.
Like, they have to drill that.
And even the distance between each of them needs to be held the whole way through.
Yep, and where we're standing now, they have to turn a corner, and that's like a whole other thing. Like,
all the things we don't think about.
No, you've got to pivot.
Rock and roll. Oh yeah, another tune. Sorry, I shouldn't sing along, really, should I?
Of course you can.
I don't know, Aoife, I don't know. In my own time, if I watch this back later, I can sing along then.
You can sing along then. Managing those flags in the wind.
Well, they have great wind. Incredible. I mean, the wind probably is in their favour today. It gets the flags going. Here they are coming around us. Look at them. The crowd are loving it.
They absolutely are. So this will be one of the smaller bands today.
Okay.
So the American bands, we're getting up to 300 in the band.
Okay.
And here we have Bui Bullock.
Tell us.
So I'm so excited for this. So theme is roots.
Yes.
And we're starting off with Eru. So
look at her.
Namesake of Ireland. And she is just gorgeous.
Inspired by the Book of Leinster, one of Ireland's great medieval manuscripts.
Yep, they went back in history for this one. So these dancers here, they're representing the earth, the connection to nature. And
Weeble are Wexford-based, non-profit.
They are. They're down there in Wexford, and so she is enormous. I saw her this morning.
Look at her.
She's got over 1 kilometre of fabric to make up her hair, which you're going to see now. And we had a request last night for extra tickets because they needed extra people to help manage her hair.
Okay.
So she's
like
got her
myself.
own hairdresser, yeah.
She is very striking. And these are made to last. I mean, I suppose you can kind of look at this and go, oh, that's cool. They did this for the St. Patrick's Day parade. But really, they travel, these floats, don't they? And they're made to last.
They do. So obviously all of these companies, they're here year round. They're doing festivals and parades all through the year. So Wee Bullock will be looking for places for Eru to go and visit, and elements of this. So we'll see the other elements that they've been making now in a minute. So this is the Book of Leinster, or a portion of it anyway.
Yes.
And this is actually designed. So the artistic director of Wee Bullock is Colm Lowney.
Right.
And his son Frankie did the design for this.
Oh, lovely.
So it's a family business.
Family affair.
And these are the monks that are representing the kind of the written word that we have and keeping the stories through text.
Performed by Showstopper Stage School, directed by Elaine Harty.
That's them.
They're miming the act of writing and capturing stories on the page. It is nice to hear all of the backstory behind all of it, because sometimes you can't go, oh, they're just dancing around the page, but there's meaning behind all of it.
There is. So these are my legions. And again, just the detail, like each of the costumes is handmade. All the props are designed and made down in Wexford. It's just beautiful to look at.
Their spears and their shields, they're embodying strength and unity. The Milesians were believed to have come from Spain, Aoife.
Yes.
Were met in battle by the Tuatha Dé Danann, who used spells and enchantments to conjure storms and confusion. Now, moving swiftly on. The Ohio State University Marching Band. Talk to me about these.
So these guys were trying to bribe me late last year.
Oh, wow.
Because they wanted to be first in the parade.
Well, okay, why is that?
Because they're incredible.
They're like, we're incredible, we know it, so we want to go first.
Exactly. And I said, no, I'm sorry, this is the Dublin parade. Glendalough shall be going first.
Let's have a little listen. Over to Emer, who is in the thick of things.
Well, hello there. Tell me all about your band.
Hi there, my name's John Davern. I'm a graduate associate director at the Ohio State Marching Band, and we are very excited to be here in Dublin to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, and we're very glad to be talking to you right now.
My goodness, we are so happy you're talking to us. Can you teach me something? I don't know, like, I wouldn't mind learning the...
You have to lift your legs. It's called a chair step. Okay. So, and all you got to do is left, right, left, right. Hey, you're pretty good.
Arms straight.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Over and out.
Thank you, Emer. Now, we're going to head over to Dáithí, who is with Richard Tierney, CEO of the St. Patrick's Festival, and Caroline Buckwell, CEO of Fáilte Ireland, in just a moment. Another little look at the Ohio State University.
Oh, thank you very much, Darren. I'm here with Richard, as you mentioned there. Richard, this is day 4. How's it been going?
Amazing, yeah. We've had a brilliant festival. We kicked off on Saturday morning with the treasure hunt. We've had 3 days of amazing citywide programme, and now we're here, now we're at the parade.
Why is this day and why is the festival so important to us here in Ireland?
Well, I mean, it's our national day. It's a chance we have to celebrate as a nation, everything that's brilliant about being a nation. And I'm really privileged to have the steering wheel of it. So, yeah, I mean, with the world's eyes looking in at us, and we put our best foot forward as always.
Richard, I always meet you at this part of the day, right? And you're kind of laid back on the outside, but on the inside, what's happening?
Yeah, still laid back, yeah. It's sort of out of my hands now, really. It's in their hands. I mean, it's a huge team effort. A lot of work goes into this. We've amazing partners, we've an amazing team inside, and you know, I just sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah. And it's here to be enjoyed. That's the whole point of it.
Totally. We're so lucky to have it. Most countries don't have something like this. We're so lucky to have something like this. where the world can look at us. And, you know, we've 500,000 people on the streets of Dublin today enjoying I won't jinx it, the great weather.
Well, I spoke to President Connolly earlier on, and she was praying to some gods. I'm not too sure which ones, but I asked her to keep praying.
Yeah, I said a novena, badly.
When this is all over and done this evening, when will 2027, when will the preparation for that start?
Yeah, it literally starts on Thursday. We have a debrief, we meet everyone, and we start what worked, what didn't work. And it does take a year to organise again, and, you know, it's a huge undertaking from so many different people, so it starts again. We get tomorrow off.
We saw a beautiful piece there by Bui Bullock, and it was of Eru.
Yeah.
And I noticed the hair was kind of, was it styled on Doireann Garrihy's hair for today?
Yes, it was, yeah. That was a clear example of, remember I spoke to you last year about height?
Yes.
And we get height. That's how we get height.
That's how you get height.
Height, yeah.
Richard, thank you very much. I also have Caroline Coppell here, who's the CEO of Fáilte Ireland. How many people are expected here in Dublin for this weekend?
For the festival, almost 600,000 people. It's absolutely phenomenal. About 100,000 of those will be visitors from overseas, and the rest all people from Ireland enjoying the fabulous celebrations.
We are here, of course, on RTE, and we're online as well. And who else will be looking at this parade, and where will they be looking at it around the world today?
It will be beamed into about 500 million homes around the world. It's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, what a wonderful opportunity for us to celebrate our culture, our heritage on the world stage. It's absolutely fabulous. And it's really, really important to us also from a tourism perspective. It brings in about 100 million euros to the economy, which is so important, but actually it's much more important than that. It's a wonderful way to show our tourists the Céad Míle Fáilte that we have here for people in Ireland, how we welcome people. It's been wonderful atmosphere in the streets, seeing so many visitors and so many Irish and new Irish people also here, really enjoying the celebration. So what a great way to send people back home. We hope that they'll come back again and continue to celebrate here with us in Ireland.
We have a fantastic parade here every year in Dublin and in other cities, but I do have a big draw as well for the smaller parades that happens in smaller towns and villages all around Ireland.
They're absolutely amazing. They're so important. It's wonderful to see all the communities come out. I mean, Richard and his team do a phenomenal job here in Dublin, and there's 6 other cities and towns around Ireland that we're supporting in Fáilte Ireland. But actually, you're right. It's the wonderful celebration of who we are as a people, and I think that's what's so fabulous for Ireland, particularly at the moment, is to be able to show people that we really do celebrate who we are, where we've come from, and we're so happy to share it with people, and we love to do that.
Caroline, we know you work all year round, of course, and sometimes maybe if I was back home in Dingle or if I was in Galway, I'd meet people from certain places that I wouldn't expect, and I'd meet a lot of them. Where have you been focusing on the last year to get people from into Ireland?
Well, so we're working with Tourism Ireland, so my colleague Alice is actually over in the United States at the moment. So really the States continues to be one of our biggest markets, but lots and lots of other countries as well. Particularly in Europe, we have a lot of European visitors here. I was hearing a lot of French, German, Spanish accents this morning. So really, it's really a kind of a global market for us.
Caroline, thank you very much. Richard, thank you. Back to you, Darren. Where's Richard gone? He's not Richard.
Now we have Waterford Spree, Wolves of the Ancient Forest.
Wolves of the Ancient Forest. So this is exploring the wolves that used to roam Ireland. And we've got different elements here. We've got the dancing wolves, the flying wolf, and the Morrigan. And it's about the shape-shifting, and so werewolves, but not in the way that we would know them at the moment. You know, like it's more the ancient Irish werewolf.
And I see that from my notes, Eva, my homework that I
Your
did.
homework, yes.
These majestic animals, they were not feared, but they were celebrated by the people of Ireland in ancient times.
Yes.
They were kind of protectors of Ireland.
They were.
And their presence, you know, kept watch over the land. And although we don't have them anymore, they say if you listen carefully at night, you can still hear them howl if you listen hard enough.
Hear them. And this, so Waterford Spree is run by Mike. Well, there's a big team down there, but Mike would be the artistic director, and just the detail that goes into these, like it's absolutely amazing. And I'm pretty sure if you go down to Spree, they have a festival in August.
Yes.
You may see some of these wolves up close.
And it really is a huge deal for the area. The August Bank Holiday weekend is known as Spree Weekend down there.
It is, yes.
It's a real takeover.
And as always, we have the live musicians. And this is Waterton High School Gosling Marching Band.
Talk to me about them, Eva.
Well, they are called the Gosling Marching Band because they have a baby goose as their mascot.
The animals
All
are the stars of the show.
Yep. Now, we're very sad that they didn't bring the baby goose.
That's okay, we can imagine it. 75 people here, their black pants and their blue jackets, very smart.
And they're supposed to be playing Can't Stop the Feeling by Justin Timberlake.
I didn't want to get too excited.
I'm a little bit excited.
I'm excited for that. Let's have a Goslings have a rich history and tradition of student travel and perform throughout North America biannually. Recent highlights, the National Independence Day Parade in Washington, D.C., the halftime performances of several collegiate football bowl games, the Thanksgiving Day Parade of bands at Disney, if you don't mind, and in celebration of Canada Day on the lawn of Parliament in Ottawa. Now, next up we have Curious State. Life is brew-tea-full. B-R-E-W-T-E-A full. Supported by Irish Ferries. And I'm delighted to be joined by Lucy Medalcott from the Irish Street Arts, Circus and Spectacle Network. How are you, Lucy?
Hi, how are you?
Wonderful. Tell me about Life is Brew-tea-full, the theme of Curious State's wonderful creation.
Yes, well, it's a fantastic piece. Curious State is led by the brilliant Nick Kavanagh, based in Waterford, and they like to make work that relates to family audiences, multi-generational, all for art for everybody. And this piece is about, it's kind of like a send-up of the traditional Irish stereotypes. They like specialising on kind of making a little bit of satire about ourselves, because we can't laugh at ourselves. Who the hell?
Listen,
you know?
We have to be able to.
Yeah.
Tell me about the different groups that came together to make this happen.
So Curious State are based in Waterford, and they work closely with Waterford Spree as well. But this piece is about obviously making tea, and it's with a woman called Betty Ruin, and she makes 1,000 cups of tea with her turbo tea maker. So, you know, I think that's going to be pretty useful today, don't you?
Absolutely. Will everyone in the audience get a cup, I wonder?
I definitely hope so, if they ask nicely enough.
It is so important these days, Lucy, for theatre groups like Curious State and other theatre groups to be supported and properly funded, am I right?
Oh yeah, I mean, this kind of work, it's like you can see, there are millions of people on the street today. This kind of work communicates with mass audiences. Everybody can get involved in this, and it's so important to be able to make work that celebrates, you know, and brings people together and celebrates and shines and has fun enjoying who we are together as a human race.
And they are absolutely doing that with their turbo tea here.
There we are, there's the tea, pouring it out.
And she's not married to any particular brand, is she? No. Any brand of tea? No,
no, definitely not. She's anti-corporate.
Look at her. Having a ball. The bubbles as well, the colours. Come on, Mrs. Doyle would have been in her element, lads. She would have loved it today.
Yes, absolutely. This is tea for everybody. Tea for everyone. You know, free tea.
Thank you so much, Lucy. It's been a pleasure chatting to you.
Thank you.
Now, University of Illinois Marching Band. Aoife, what have we got?
I actually have a really cute story about this band.
Yes.
So there is a brother and sister in the band, Carrie and, I hope I say their last name right, Carrie and Ben Sosnowski.
Okay.
Now their parents were in the band. They met in the band.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, we love a love story.
Yes. And the parents travelled to Ireland and performed in the St. Patrick's Day Parade years ago.
Right.
And now Carrie and Ben are in the band, travelling to Dublin.
That is, and was it, do you know what, we're going to embellish the story and say it was exactly on St. Patrick's Day during the parade they realised they were in love.
Absolutely,
that's, right,
what happened.
Yeah, that's
and
what I thought.
Carrie and Ben could be looking across the end of their whistle and seeing the love of their life, and this could continue for generations.
300 in this band, as you mentioned earlier, a lot of them in this one.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Found in 1868, student run, and they've travelled worldwide for more than 157 years of tradition.
Yeah, and This is their 9th time in Ireland.
Okay, so they obviously enjoy it.
They do.
Gorgeous uniforms once again.
The uniforms are such a big part of this.
They really, I'm sure they are. It probably is one of those things where when you put it on, you feel like you're part of a team and an entourage.
But they're made up of there's 9 or 10 elements. It's not just a jersey and a pair of shorts.
Yeah.
There's so much to it.
You'd want to be trying to stay under the 20 kg limit, wouldn't you? It's probably hard.
The logistics of getting them over, with the instruments. Could you imagine coming home and telling your parents you want to play the big...
What's the biggest one?
I can't remember what it's called.
Oh no!
These ones
These
here.
lads.
Yeah.
These ones. I am destined to play this. Your mom will be like, for God's sake.
Yeah, you just need to buy a big car. You'd be pushing them in the direction of the clarinet then.
I mean, I'm sure they come well equipped for the weather. But on a day like today, they're probably roasting.
I'd say they're absolutely melting.
Do you think we've talked about the weather enough, Eva, or should we do another?
No, I think we should absolutely talk about it a bit more, because it's really not what was predicted a week ago.
Let's have a listen to their lovely music. They're doing well to stay in their straight lines, Eva.
Oh my gosh.
now I'm hyper-focused on the lines.
And it's one of the things they're judged on, because there's actually a competition happening during the parade for the band.
Oh, stop!
Yeah.
Amongst themselves, or...?
Yeah, amongst the marching bands.
Yes.
So we've got adjudicators sitting in one of the stands judging them.
This.
And they're being judged on their straight lines.
Wonderful.
So, yep.
So there will be a winner.
There will be a winner.
And what do they win?
It's the pride of, but it's a big deal in marching band world. There's 3 big ones. There's St. Patrick's in Dublin, there's the Rose Parade, and there's Thanksgiving. So yeah.
Speaking of winners, it is time for all of you at home to enter our competition. Maybe you could be a winner today. Take a look at this.
Here's your last chance to win €5,000 in tax-free cash. Spend it as you wish, splash the cash or save it all. It's completely up to you. For your chance to win, answer this. Which of these is heard in traditional Irish music? Is it the fiddle, didgeridoo or trumpet? If you think you know the answer, call 1517 71 71 77 or text the word parade followed by your answer and a name to 57886. Maximum cost per entry is €2.50. You must be over 18 to enter. Lines will close at midday Wednesday the 18th of March. More details on rte.ie/competitions, and that's where the lucky winner will also be revealed.
welcome back to the St. Patrick's Festival Parade. We are live here in Dublin City Centre overlooking O'Connell Bridge, and the vibes are immaculate, as the kids would say. Eva, I didn't think I'd say this, but I'm going to say it. I'm kind of glad to see a cloud.
It is a bit of a relief, but we're not going to talk about it.
We had a bit of a glare in our eyes, and now we can see a little bit clearer. So that's all. Listen, it's done. It's done. City of Dublin Youth Services, D Wondrous Legends of Youth we have here. Eva, talk to me about them.
This group is incredible. So we've got 8 youth groups from the City of Dublin Youth Services. And I was talking to a girl this morning, Charlotte. She's one of the drummers, and she was talking about how this program allows them access to things that they wouldn't be able to access, and because of it, she's now going on to study social work.
Oh, fantastic.
So I'm like, she had me in tears earlier today. Like, it's just incredible, and this opportunity for them to participate in their parade. Like, you know, there's parades happening all around the country.
Yes.
This is their parade.
Yeah.
And they're here, and they're doing it, and they work really hard within their own groups. And they create these artistic responses to the theme every year. The drummers work with music generation to learn how to drum.
Yes.
But they have built a load of bits to go with them. So this is actually from ArtFX. This is the next group.
Oh yes, okay. So this is Oakstruck, Eva.
This is Oakstruck.
ArtFX is a creative hub, an inspiring environment where talented, multidisciplinary and multinational artists and designers come together to create very innovative work like we're looking at here. This is Oakstruck, the king.
This is the Oak King. And this is all about the roots, quite literally.
Yes.
So we have the forest, we've got all the little mushrooms, we've got this squirrel rock band rocking out on the Oak King. So the Oak King has fallen, and he's in the forest, and it's about what happens after that. So you've got all the little oak saplings, so the acorns that we saw there running around. Here we've got one of the acorns, and these saplings are now growing, and they're going to become the next thing that takes over the forest.
Look at these guys. This is amazing. The drums are little mushrooms. That is so cute.
And I don't think you get the scale of this on camera, but it's enormous.
It is enormous. Rock and roll. Look at that.
So the guy on the guitar there, that is Kieran, and he made this.
Wow.
And now he's out there rocking out on top of it.
And again, they're made to last, so Oakstruck could be traveling worldwide.
Absolutely, and they're made so that they'll be able to use the base that this has been made from, so they can redesign it and make something else.
Again, very sustainable. Now, Kemp Verdi High School Coyote Pride Marching Band. Here they are in their green, very festive. What are these foxes they have?
These
little
guys
foxes at the front.
Is there a little fox?
There were, yeah.
Oh. These guys are from Arizona.
Okay.
One of the smallest bands here, but we are delighted to have them. Oh, the little foxes. Yeah, I see them now. I was like, did they actually bring a fox with them?
Oh, sorry, I should have clarified. I'm just getting too excited about any animal I see, even if it's a picture of an animal.
This is the Rotunda Hospital.
Oh, look at amazing. This is just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, we're going to explain what this is all about in just a second. I'm here with Sean Daly, Master of the Rotunda Hospital, and Fiona Hanrahan, Director of Midwifery and Nursing. How are we both today?
Great. Really excited.
Are you delighted to be here?
Really excited, yes. Huge.
Sean, the Rotunda Hospital, it holds a very special place in many people's hearts in the city. It is the oldest maternity hospital in the world, if people didn't know that.
Yes.
That's a fact.
It is a fact.
And it's very special. Well, it's special for me. By the way, I was there in October. I gave birth to my
your rose.
Great.
Yes, my oar. Thank you for spotting, Fiona. That's my oar for Rosie. Talk to us about the float here today, Fiona, and what it represents.
Well, it represents, I suppose, the hospital been at the top of O'Connell Street, where it's been since 1757. But previously we were in Faith Street from 1745. So nearly 270 years of service on top of O'Connell Street. It represents our roots to the Rotunda, so our staff are with the parade. Many of them have worked in the Rotunda for years, so very deeply embedded roots in Dublin and in the Rotunda. So very proud of everyone today.
A very special baby will arrive next year, Sean. We don't know who the baby will be, but we know what number it will be. Can you talk to us about that?
Yes, we'll deliver our 1,000,000th baby next year, and we're very excited about that. You know, this is kind of building towards that. You know, we were 12,000 short at the end of last year. We delivered 8,616 babies last year from women who came from 130 different countries.
Wow.
So, you know, it really is about roots, and, you know, we are firmly established as part of Dublin. Delighted to be here.
And not only the women who gave birth to babies in the hospital, you also have a very diverse amount of people working in the hospital as well.
Yeah, we do. We have, like, a lot of the people dancing here are from the Philippines, and they work in our neonatal intensive care unit. But we have a huge number of people from all over the world.
Sean and Fiona, it's a pleasure to chat to you today.
Oh,
What's your highlight so far?
The Rotunda.
Yeah, of course, it has to be. Fantastic.
No, I mean, it's all amazing, isn't it? So, and the weather. The weather has been very kind as well. So
thank you both so
lovely
much.
to see you. Thanks, Doireann. Have a great day. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Let's have a look at what's going on. What have we got here now? Now, Aoife, artastic. Cade on scale.
Cade on scale.
What have we got?
So they are exploring different aspects of our roots. So our the cup of tea that we saw,
very important.
So the tea and chats, which is very, very important. And then they're weaving together Celtic legend. So this is the Salmon of Knowledge. Now he is 7 meters long. He's absolutely enormous.
Love the colours.
Yeah. Artastic are known for their vibrancy and the colours that they bring to the work. And again, really rooted in community. They work with a lot of community groups. So this is Atomic Stage School that they've been working with since 2015. So
7
it's
years.
a long-standing partnership there. And here we have got the dancing teacups.
Gorgeous. Let's have a listen to the music. Tell me some more about Artastic then, Aoife. They're exploring Irish identity through the simple, timeless magic of the cup of tea, as we can see.
Yep. And then there's our cup of tea.
Yeah.
Tea makes everything better.
Oh, is that what it says?
That's
Tea
what it
makes
says.
everything better.
Yeah. And our teacups are actually from Dunshaughlin Dance Group. They're from Meath. And again, all of these costumes are handmade.
The movement of the table, oh, it's just brilliant.
So these guys here, these are called pushers.
Okay.
So they have to push the float. None of these are automatic. They have to push them. And when they get round to Dame Street, that's a long hill.
Is it?
Yeah.
And again, I mean, they have to be, these floats have to be made for bumps along the road as well, and Lewis tracks and all that kind of stuff.
Lewis tracks, everything. Yeah.
The Lewis tracks are probably the biggest nightmare thing to come up against, are they?
It's not the Lewis track, it's the Lewis line.
The line.
Yeah, because we can't go above 5.6 meters. So we can go above 5.6 meters, but they have to be able to get under 5.6 meters. So everything that's made has to be able to either come down very quickly and go back up again so everyone can see it. And you can see there the little fairy house in the background.
Gorgeous. Costumes are representing Celtic creatures, Celtic interlaces, art designs, and Celtic crosses. Salmon of Knowledge, though, really is, I suppose, the highlight here. Look at the colours.
I think this is a different group. This is the Outing Queer Arts Collective, I think that image is coming from.
Okay.
But we're back with Artastic now. It's just so lovely to see everyone enjoying it. Like,
smiles all around.
Yeah, sunglasses all around. Just in case anyone didn't know, it was sunny today.
Now, let's go over to Emer to see who she's chatting to on the streets. I'm I'm here with our fantastic ladies. How's the day been so far?
Amazing. I'm having so much fun.
Well, you look fabulous.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Thank you.
Tell me.
It's been great. I love it.
It's a little hot, but we're not even going to complain about that, are we?
Let's not complain about it.
No. Can we like reel this out with a little dance move? Yeah? Happy St. Patrick's Day, people. Let's go. Salmon of Knowledge still front and centre here.
They're enjoying themselves.
Listen.
Just take their time.
If I was down there, I would be milking it for as long as I could, Aoife.
Absolutely.
They're dead right.
Now, the whole parade route is 3.2 kilometres.
Okay.
So they're going to be dancing their little socks off for 3.2 kilometres.
The large fairy mushroom represents the legendary homes for the fairies. And this section is performed by the Polish Saturday School in Dublin. They meet every Saturday.
They do. We run a community arts project and we work with certain community groups around Dublin City. And the Polish Saturday School is one of those groups. So we host workshops every week and they come in and they learn parade performance. So we call it choreographed movement rather than dancing because there's certain people wouldn't want to participate in some dancing.
So if you just reframe it.
We trick them slightly. It's choreographed movement. And they learn drumming and stilt walking. And then we match them up with one of the professional companies and they take a part within the professional company. So Polish Saturday School are here with Artastic today.
They are no doubt very proud to be representing their school and the Polish diaspora during the St. Patrick's Parade. Choreographed by Owen Lyons. Look at these lovely... It's so creative, isn't it? The little heads popping out of the mouths.
But you go into these workshops and I mean there's just shelves upon shelves of these because you can't just make one.
No.
To have the impact in the parade you've got to have 10 or 20 of them. So they're making multitudes of them.
Now, on to revenue, Aoife.
Revenue.
Here they are. Almost 7,000 staff based in some 70 locations throughout the country. And they are participating in the parade this year. 40 representatives from Revenue's Custom Services. Now, also participating, Aoife, we don't want to get too excited, but we have revenue dogs.
There should be revenue dogs.
There should be.
We're just dying to see them.
Sorry, I'm racing ahead. I'm just so excited. I need to calm down about the animals.
There's the dogs.
Yes! Oh my God! The gorgeous spaniel. Ah, look. This is so brilliant. Revenue's dog detection teams include Billy, Kira, and Sam. Now, Sam couldn't be here today. He sent his apologies.
Yeah, we're
Listen, I didn't want to ask. I didn't want to ask.
But no, he's look at them. Well, I don't know if they're working right now.
No, they're just having a ball. But in case people wonder, yes, so the Revenue's dog detection team, they're involved in search of vehicles and containers, warehouses, properties, aircraft, vessels. They're a hugely important resource for Revenue.
They absolutely are.
Oh,
now
back
here
to some
we
colour.
have the Outing Queer Arts Collective.
Here we go. Look at this unicorn. Ah, look. This is, as Aoife said, the Outing Queer Arts Collective. It's a not-for-profit, community-led organisation. They celebrate and promote LGBTQ+ arts, culture and visibility across Ireland.
And they have called their piece Queer Roots. So they are exploring Oscar Wilde and the work of Oscar Wilde. And so there's Oscar himself.
Oh, look at him.
Now the green carnation he's wearing was from a time before it was legal to be queer in Ireland, and Oscar would wear a green carnation to indicate that he was part of the gay community.
Yeah.
It was a subtle signal to other people, so they're celebrating that today.
Founded by Eddie McGuinness.
You all look beautiful.
They create inclusive spaces where queer artists and performers and communities can get together and collaborate and thrive across the island of Ireland.
And as always, full of colour.
Hello. Oscar Wilde was always great for the quotes, Aoife.
He is. I think one of the quotes on the float is, be yourself, everyone else is taken.
I love that. Be yourself, everyone else is already taken. Another favourite, we're all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars.
Yes,
Beautiful.
that's my favourite.
Beautiful. Now, next up, South Jones High School marching band. How exciting! I'm delighted to be joined by Sarah Wilburn, who's parent of Abram, who is part of the band. Sarah, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Wonderful. Are you bursting with pride today?
I am so proud of not only my son Abram, but I teach at the high school, so I'm excited to support all of our babies here today.
Fantastic. Amazing. Can you point him out, do you think?
I hope so.
How long has Abram been part of the band?
Well, he has been in the band since he was in the 6th grade. No, that's not him.
That's not him.
No, there he is right there.
There he
right
is.
there. The
There
long
he is.
hair. That's my baby. We call him Abe the Babe.
Abe the Babe.
Abe the Babe. We are proud of him. And we are so proud of all of them.
How excited was he to come to Ireland?
He's so excited. You know, we have prepared for this for the past 4 years, and the opportunity to be here, music brings people together, and the fact that we're able to bring Mississippi to Ireland is just amazing for us.
It is a lot of work, not only for them, but for you.
So much work.
It's not for the faint-hearted.
It is not, no, but I think that that's what makes it meaningful, because, this is a group that is full of heart and determination, and they're in so many different groups, and they are just really doing our community proud, I think.
What are you yourself most excited about doing on the trip?
Well, personally, I'm excited. We're going to Belfast tomorrow.
Brilliant.
So we've been to the cliffs, and we've just had a great time just experiencing the culture and the community and the history. It's been an amazing experience for us.
Let's have a listen to the music. Thank you so much for chatting to me and enjoy the rest of your trip.
Thank you for having us.
Now it is time for all of you at home to enter our competition. Take a look at this.
This Loyal Pádraig, we are giving you the chance to win a magical €5,000 in tax-free cash. Spend it as you wish. Book a fabulous family holiday in the Irish countryside. Splash the cash on friends or renovate your home this year. How you spend it, it's totally up to you. That's €5,000 for one lucky person. And for your chance to win, answer this. What instrument is heard in traditional Irish music? Is it the fiddle, didgeridoo or trumpet? If you think you know the answer, call 1517 71 71 77 or text the word parade followed by your answer and name to 57886. Maximum cost per entry is €2.50. You must be over 18 to enter. Lines will close at midday Wednesday the 18th of March. More details on rte.ie/competitions, and that's where the lucky winner will also be revealed.
St. Patrick's Festival Parade. We are coming to you live from Dublin city centre. The rain has held off. We are thriving. We're well into the thick of it now, Aoife. We're having a ball.
It's almost over.
Ah, Aoife, don't be saying that.
Ready for it.
We still have a full quarter to go. We're into part 4 of the festivities and we're having
some dogs.
Aoife, don't do it to me. Look at this. Who have we got?
So this is Show Commotion, and their piece is called Amongst the Roots, and this is the Irish Wolfhound experience.
Amazing.
So these guys have joined this piece because it's all about Queen Una, who was the last of the fairy queens, and Fincool had the wolfhounds, and he promised to protect her with the wolfhounds. So we've got the actual wolfhounds here protecting all of the fairies of Ireland.
Look at them, they're gorgeous.
So this is Michaela Murphy School of Performing Arts.
Okay.
They've teamed up with this group. So that's all the dancers that we have. Now I'm particularly excited this year because we saw with Spree, there was a little bit of aerial, so someone bouncing around off the ground, and this one we've got another piece of aerial. So the piece is this, here we go.
Oh wow.
Now that's Brona hanging out in the tree. So
this is the hawthorn tree.
This is the hawthorn tree.
Yes.
So this is the entrance to the underworld, or the other world, sorry.
Okay.
So
it's 5.5 meters tall, just to give an idea.
Yeah.
Rescued from the side of a hill in the back and beyond, and planted on this float, is what we're told. Hanging from the windswept edge, as we saw our aerial flying fairy performer. Ah, look at the best boys. Look at them, they're so good.
So we've got Tara, Mac, Brendan, Lunasa, Barra, and Kevin. That's the dogs. So you remember all them now when you go and see them later.
Yeah. I'm meeting them after the parade. Few treats.
We had them at the launch of the festival, and it was raining outside, and they came into Epic Museum for us.
Soaking wet.
Soaking wet.
Yeah.
But he's got perfume that makes them smell nice.
Gorgeous.
And I was like, I need to get some of that for my dog.
This is the first time Show Commotion has ventured into the public realm. Am I right, Eva?
This is, so Damo is an old hand at parades. He's been doing it for years and years and years. But this is his first thing himself.
Okay.
So I'm really excited for him because it's been a long time coming for him, I think.
That was a kind of a witch's cackle.
It was a little bit of a
very
cackle.
fairy-like at all.
But the fairies weren't all nice.
Really? Okay.
No, like there's a little bit of like mischief there, and you know they weren't good enough to go to heaven, so they got sent to the other worlds.
We have National Services now, Aoife. The National Services Day organisation is honoured to take part today, they've told us. And the National Services Day takes place this year on Saturday the 5th of September. We'll give that a decent mention and a decent shout out for anyone that wants to get involved or support.
Absolutely. So this is a lot of different national services have come together, and this one is a little bit special for me because my husband has just recently qualified as a paramedic.
Amazing.
So the National Ambulance Service are represented here as well. You've got the Irish Coast Guard there, or the RNLI, my apologies. It looks like the fairies have infiltrated National Services Day.
Why not? That's what it's all about. So yeah, the day is the 5th of September and it's going to celebrate and be a day of recognition for Frontline and emergency services.
That's it.
And honour those who dedicate their lives to such amazing causes.
I'd say those lads are roasted.
Roasted. They have to, it's all part of it. It's all part of it. Now, this weekend, performers were gathering all over Dublin for the St. Patrick's Festival. Let's have a little look.
Well, I call it Guerrilla Gaeilge. I like to pop up and just ask people if they want a focal.
Dia which?
Yeah. Have you heard that one before? The whole idea is to take a word and just have a really simple chat. When they're up for it, it's really, really fun.
I'm now doing a veil.
Yeah, okay. So I've just got loads of fuckles in my cup, and I hope that people will take one and maybe either learn a bit of Irish, or if they already have some Irish, practice a bit of Irish.
Leah Road? Leave Roads. Leave Roads. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Slán.
Morrison Academy Pipe Band join us next, Aoife.
So these guys are from Scotland, so just a little hop across for them. It's a secondary, well, it's a school that goes all the way from nursery all the way to secondary school in the middle of Scotland, a place called Crieff. And I was chatting to some of them last night, and they were telling me they're going home tomorrow, and they have a maths test on Wednesday. On Thursday.
That's not fair.
It's not fair at all.
We need to get that cancelled. Who do we need to contact?
But one of their teachers, their teachers have travelled with them, and the teacher was, he was saying, they could have left it till Friday.
Yeah, come on. Next Monday even.
I know.
It might just be a hop, skip and a jump for them to here, but they are very well travelled. Cape Town, Hong Kong, New York, Oman.
They have been all over the world. Like it's some school. Like it really kind of instills the pipe band into the tradition of the school. So they have amazing opportunities.
Let's have a little listen to them. Saw the city come alive, and there was a spectacular performance on Saturday night. Have a look at this.
The audience reactions have been absolutely amazing. Surprisingly, no fear. A lot of people allowing us to rob them. We've really been getting into the characters of the seagulls. I've actually collected a few chicken fillet rolls underneath my wing here.
The chicken fillet rolls, very on brand for the seagulls.
Absolutely.
Now, Macnas, who are Ireland's premier spectacle art company, Aoife, very exciting to see them here again.
I am so excited to have Macnas back, and they are celebrating 40 years. So I'm going to say Macnas is older than me.
Oh, yeah, it's way older than me.
So older than me. But so this is Crom, and Crom has been made and designed to look like the Connemara landscape.
Oh, I love that.
So if you just look at his features and his hair, he just looks like Connemara.
He does.
So, and he is absolutely enormous. He's 5 meters tall.
He's barefoot as well.
He is.
Poor guy.
Because everyone in Connemara walks around barefoot.
I'd say, do you know what?
you couldn't find shoes big enough for those feet.
You could not.
You need canoes.
They're the big sods of turf on his feet. That's what he has. And here we have the famous Macnas drummers. These guys are incredible.
What makes them famous? Is it the enthusiasm and the way that they perform it, or what? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that. Like when you think of Macnas, you think of the drums. You think of the it's also intense. Now Macnas would normally do kind of nighttime parades where you've got a bit of lighting and smoke, and it's all very dramatic.
Yes.
We're seeing him in, we'll say it again, the blazing sunshine. But he looks spectacular.
He does. The hair, the wispy hair.
Yeah.
He looks weathered, but in a kind of interesting way.
Exactly what he is.
That's a compliment.
Yes.
They have 300 participants with audiences of 70,000, reaching a global audience of 500,000 via digital outreach annually. That's how impactful they are.
And they were in Japan earlier this year, presenting the Newt, who was here with us last year. So this is, again, it's this journey of the work. It goes to other places, and this is not the first time Crom has been out. Like he's been out a good few times now, but he's just amazing.
Do you think he's angry, or is he just kind of thinking, or what's he?
I think he's just very pensive. He's taking it all in.
He is. Yeah.
He's, and my comment about people in Connemara wearing no shoes. I live in Connemara, and my children, like trying to get them to wear shoes.
But don't worry.
So I was just,
we won't cancel you.
It's yeah, please don't. Please let me come home. So actually, he does look a bit like me first thing in the morning, if I'm honest.
A lot of people tomorrow
so
will look a bit like
maybe.
Crom. That's a great shot.
It's just beautiful. And this tower being pushed along.
The Pushers.
Yeah,
I love that that's the official name.
That is their official title. There was two of the makers. I saw them earlier this morning, but they had a little photo shoot earlier in the month in preparation for this. And I don't know them personally, but I went up to them and I was like, "They're the guys from the Farmer's Journal."
Now we're on to Pendleton Heights Marching Arabians, Aoife. We have 77 members here in their green and black. Looking great.
And this is quite interesting because Pendleton Heights, they've got their marching band, and then there's some other schools nearby, so Frankton and the Coppell High Schools. So they joined forces because there wasn't enough people within the individual schools to come over to Dublin, so they joined up. And the Marching Arabians, they have an Arabian horse, is their school mascot. Again, they didn't bring the horse, I'm sorry, Darren.
So a great community coming together to make something happen.
Yeah, it's
great.
lovely.
Let's have a listen.
So Madison County, you mentioned. It used to be called the band capital of Indiana.
Yeah, they had loads of bands coming from there.
The most famous musician from Pendleton Heights is George Doherty. Conducts Bugs Bunny at the Symphony all across the United States. That's a fun fact now.
That is a good fact.
That is a good fact. Now, Lumen are up next. Oh my
Here
goodness.
they are.
Aoife, I have been waiting to see these. This is Save Our Bacon from Lumen Street Theatre. Can you talk us through it?
So Lumen are from Limerick, and this is their first time in the Dublin Parade, which is great. They've been over in Limerick for 10 years now, and Save Our Bacon is they're exploring Limerick's history of the bacon factories.
Okay.
So they've taken a very tongue-in-cheek approach to this, and you've got the butchers and the pigs. And the pigs are trying to encourage everyone to eat veggie sausages.
Right.
And the butchers are very torn because they can make the veggie sausages, but you know everyone misses the bacon.
Yeah.
So this is our butcher. With all of his string carrots.
This is just amazing. And listen, we enjoy. If you enjoy your rashers and your sausages, this is where it comes from.
Yeah, that's it. Like, now these pig heads are all paper mache, and each one of them is individually made. And I was chatting away to them one day, and they were in the warehouse making them, trying to get everything dried.
Okay.
Because obviously paper mache, if you've ever made it,
yes,
like, it takes a lot to dry it. And they've just got hundreds of these big pig heads.
I think they're excited to be here today.
They really are.
They're celebrating 10 years this year. They bring immersive spectacle to the city of Limerick and beyond being Dublin today, of course.
Yeah.
Collaborating with local communities and co-creating innovative and inspiring works where participants engage in the creative process.
And that's it, like this type of work really lends itself to that sort of community engagement. You can get your hands dirty,
yes,
making things. It's fun. You're part of a big group, so your inhibitions can go a little bit. It's not just you out there. And then together you make this big spectacle.
And it's great to have a team like this where they don't take themselves too seriously. They actually dance around with these songs.
But again, it's how do you interpret roots?
Exactly.
So they're going back to Limerick's roots.
And Fairview Scouts we have next. Scouting in Fairview began in December 1925 on Richmond Road under a lamppost. Since then, the group have grown from strength to strength with just over 250 members. Am I right, Eva?
You are indeed. And I think we have about 200 of those members here today.
Brilliant.
They are so excited. So 100 years of scouting in Fairview.
Mad.
Yeah. I suppose like all scouting groups, they do all of their activities. They build, they learn how to build fires and camp, and which is great. Like if you're living in the city, it's giving you those opportunities to go out and do that.
Dáithí is in amongst it and caught up with some of the scouts.
Well, I'm here with Doireann Garrihy, who is one of the leaders of the Fairview Scouts. How are you, sir?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm in great form altogether, Dáithí. You're celebrating this year. Tell me all about that.
Yeah, it's a big year for us this year. 100 years of scouting in the Marino and Fairview community, which is about 3 kilometres from where we're standing now.
Yes.
Started off a group of about 12 or so scouts came together, boys at that stage.
Yeah.
Met with 2 priests in December 1925. And since then, we've just grown from strength to strength.
Yeah. Tell us who's walking with you today.
We've got cubs, beavers, scouts, ventures, and some rovers and leaders as well. 180 of us, David.
So fierce excited to be part of the parade today,
all
Dáithí.
week. It was like getting tickets for the All-Ireland.
Yes. We're going to chat to Caoimhe in a second, but Caoimhe has a very extra special connection. Tell us about that.
Oh yeah, Caoimhe's great-grandfather was one of those people who met in Richmond Road in December 2025. It's a great tradition.
Absolutely. Do you love being in the beavers, Caoimhe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about some of the stuff that you do.
We like putting out campfires and playing with our friends.
Yeah. And do you go camping during the summer?
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Now, come here. What is this?
It's an echo. You have to wear it so it'll because if you don't wear one, you're not allowed in the
You're not allowed. Okay, you hold that for a second.
You're going to join the Scouts now.
Okay, hang on a second. I have to turn it around like this, is it? No, the other way. Oh, like that. Okay, what do I do now? Do I put it up like this? Oh, how does that look, Kiva? Does it look good? Come here. Were you so excited all week for the parade?
Yeah, I was really excited.
And come here. Did you even sleep last night with the excitement?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's great fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lovely. So, Kiva, thank you so much. And Dáithí, thank you as well.
Welcome to the Scouts, Dáithí.
Listen, I feel like I'm one of the gang now, Darren. What do you reckon? I think it suits me.
Oh my God, he slots right in. You look fabulous, Dáithí. Next up, we will have Volcadana, the capture of Dunculnia. And I'm delighted to be joined now by Kat Gorman, Director of Arts, Producer, Promenade. How are you, Kat?
I'm great, thanks. How are you, Darren?
I'm great. Tell us about Volcadana and the capture of Dunculnia.
Yeah, Volcadana, they're a fairly new company. They've just been going for about 2 years, led by Paulina Shapkina and Bridget Nidoon. And they essentially blend a whole mix of mythology, cross-cultural folklore using circus, dance, large-scale puppetry. And then what you see here essentially is all to do with the warrior Queen Maeve. They brought her back, they captured the Don Culna, the brown bull of Cooley, and her and her mummers are here in Connacht to celebrate with the people on the streets.
Tell me how long it takes to go from concept to what we see today.
Yeah, I mean, with them, I know they started around January. That would have been the sort of designing and drawing, essentially then moving into sort of testing and rehearsing. But obviously in the last few weeks, it would have been pretty long, intense days as well.
And a huge amount of resources and time is needed for something like this. It's not just people.
Yeah, 100%. If you think about it, if you look at the different sort of works, spectacle works through this parade, you need big warehouses, you need lots of height, lots of scale. So you need those sort of spaces around Ireland. And then also there's the question of training as well. Someone like Bridget, who's the maker for Volcadana, in fact, she started out in theatre design and then ended up in Taiwan, learning her sort of craft around large-scale spectacle making.
Kat, thank you so much for joining me.
Welcome.
Love the face paint, love the sticker.
Thank you.
You look fantastic. Thank you so much for chatting to me. Now, there was an amazing performance on Saturday night from the Volcadana group. Have a look at this.
This performance, Bull and Maeve, is about the story of Anton. And it's all about how Queen Maeve, the Queen of Connacht, lusts for power. She goes and starts an entire war to capture this prized bull, and this is what happens when she captures him. Our aim is, through circus and spectacle, make worlds for people to get lost in.
Now, we are back with Coppell High School marching band, Aoife.
Coppell High School from Dallas-Fort Worth area in Texas. Now this place has quite a few awards.
Tell me.
The best suburb in Texas.
Wow.
The best suburb to live in America.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah. And the best place to raise a family. Now, I don't know if that's in the world or America or, but, you could move there.
It's
the
impressive.
Best place. Yeah.
It's impressive. Let's have a little listen to that. The Irish Coast Guard, one of the 4 principal emergency services, and provides maritime search and rescue, maritime pollution response across Irish coastal, inshore and offshore areas, and they are represented here today in all their glory, their lovely uniforms.
That's it, and they are being led by TJ McCarran. I hope I've said his name correctly. And TJ is the officer in charge of the Ballybunion Coast Guard unit. Now, TJ has marched in every St. Patrick's Day parade since the Coast Guard was first represented here 10 years ago.
Amazing.
So he's always had Paddy's Day off.
He has over 35 years of service volunteering with the Irish Coast Guard, having joined in January 1991. Coast Guard itself was established in 1822.
And I suppose the message they wanted us to share today was to be attentive to your personal safety when you engage in any water or coastal activity, which is really important. We are an island. We should all be aware of it.
And one thing I learned as well, which I hadn't known, if you do need the Coast Guard, you dial 112 as you would for any emergency services.
Yes.
And just ask for the Coast Guard.
Absolutely.
So that makes a difference for one person to learn today.
That's it. Yeah. Now, have these lads been practicing walking in straight lines?
Oh, I'm excited.
Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
It's not just men, I'm sorry.
I think guys kind of, it's guys, that is men and women. I would think guys is lads and girls.
Lads.
You're all ready if I have you.
The second time I'm getting cancelled today.
Inishowen is up next, moving swiftly on. Inishowen Carnival Group, Spirit Animals.
So Inishowen are from Donegal. Again, really community-based. They're working with a lot of groups based up in there. So they've got fusion events from Letterkenny, Carndonna Community School and Ashlingi Dance Academy. And Spirit Animals, it's the kind of the mythological creatures in, like the normal animals in mythology. So
yes.
We've got a badger, and what that represents through Irish mythology.
So the lovely green eyes.
Gorgeous green eyes.
And on theme.
Now these are huge. He's like 15 foot. I don't know what that is in meters. I wouldn't be so good with that. But this is the ancient stories of shape-shifting warriors and mystics.
A ninja badger is what I have here.
Ninja badger.
Yeah. Not just any badger.
So the badger was the story of Cormac MacIrt. I'm going to say that name wrong. He was hunting badgers only to discover that it was his own cousin transformed and teaching that lesson about recognizing kinship in nature. So we're all part of this planet together.
We are.
And then you've got the crow.
15 foot tall again.
15 foot. Again,
crow.
I still don't know how many meters that is.
You know, crows and magpies are known to be highly intelligent people.
So intelligent. Yeah. And the crow is that the Morrigan.
Yes.
She took the form of the crow.
What have we got here now?
So this is the fox.
The cunning, sly fox, also 15 feet. Considered a trickster in Irish mythology.
Yeah.
And in storytelling, they're often depicted as outsmarting humans and other animals, teaching important lessons. These are those kind of smaller little baby foxes doing their dancing.
Yeah. And all of these masks are handmade.
The craftsmanship is just amazing. And as you say, it's not just, like, it's for multiple people, so it takes so much time and effort.
Yeah. And here we've got the hare.
Oh, the hare!
So this is connected to the fairies in the other worlds. So again, that theme coming through that we saw in some of the other pieces again.
Looks a bit shocked. Stage fright, parade fright. What am I doing?
Now, he's 16 foot tall, so I do know that that's taller than 15 foot.
It is, it is. Yeah, stunning.
These are just, they're gorgeous. The artist is Kevin. He makes these.
And the blue eyes.
Sorry, I know I'm really weirdly focusing on the eyes. I thought the others were green because of the day that's in it, but no, we have a blue-eyed creature.
So
the crow is kind of scary, actually.
I think it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, but a bit scary.
Yeah.
Now, we have one final pop-up performance for you at home. It is the River of Paradise, which took place in Dublin Garden. Let's have a look. Okay,
The performance piece is named after my sister. That's the meaning of her name, River of Paradise. And it symbolises her love, which is like a source of strength that has sustained me throughout my life. The show is about the exhausting barriers that disabled people have to fight, and when those inevitably gets too much, the person who comes to save me is always my sister. I want people to see that power of love, how it really can dissolve that pain and those barriers, and to maybe think of where that has happened in their own lives.
Well, now it just leaves us to say a big thank you to all the artists and performers of this year's parade and the wider festival.
It was an absolute pleasure talking to everyone today, and thank you so much to those that made their way to the streets of Dublin. It was such crack.
A huge thanks as well to Aoife and everyone else who made this parade an incredible event that it is. The festival doesn't finish though. There are events and performances taking place all around the city. In fact, we're heading over to the Cayley Moor that is happening in Merrion Square now. Oh, Gachtan and Jamla, Clea. Good day, Slán.
Fun! We did it, lads!
Hey!
Check.